Hello everyone and welcome to Clay Formations. Have you ever witnessed somebody using the wrong tool for a certain job and you know that something really bad's going to happen if they don't stop? And all you can say is just, please stop. Please just stop. I mean really, what would you do if your dentist walked in with one of these and started doing this on your teeth? I mean really, it's bad enough when a dentist uses the correct tools on your teeth. What if your doctor walked in with one of these and started doing this on you? No. You'd end up looking like this guy. What you really need is the right tool for the right job. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. All the rigs and jigs that I use to secure my sculptures so I can still use both of my hands while I'm working. I start out with a 1/2 inch floor flange, then a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch reducer. And from there you can put pretty much any pipe or fitting that you need on it to do the job that you need to do. Let's get into some more detail about how I do this. The main one I use is a drill chuck that I got from Home Depot, and I attached it to a 1/4 inch pipe with epoxy sculpt, and I can pretty much affix any type of armature I want on it. I could hold it in my hand, or I can use this. This is a sculpting turntable that I got from Amazon, and what I did was I took the bottom of an IKEA Lazy Susan and I glued it to the metal part of the turntable right here permanently. I think I used 2-part epoxy to do this. I can't remember exactly how I glued it, but any metal to wood glue will work. Now unfortunately IKEA doesn't make these wooden bases on the bottom of their Lazy Susans anymore, but you could really use any kind of wood to attach it to the base. Now I did find a 1/4 inch galvanized floor flange on Amazon, so you don't have to use the reducer. Then it's just a matter of putting the reducer onto the 1/2 inch floor flange, and then you attach it to a piece of wood. Now all you have to do is attach the drill chuck to the reducer, and you're ready to put whatever armature you need to use onto the drill chuck. First you loosen it up, and then you can adjust it to basically any height that you need. Then you tighten it back up, and you can spin it around, look at it from all different angles, and you can use both hands while you sculpt. That's the main reason why I do this, is because I usually use one hand to steady while I sculpt. I guess it's my age, but sometimes my hands shake and I need something to steady my hand while I sculpt. But this is a really effective way for me to sculpt, and I hope it helps you out too. Alright, now I'll show you something else that you can do. Once you're done with the sculpture, you can take it off of the turntable like this, attach it to another flange that's not attached to a piece of wood. Then all you have to do is take a metal plate like this, put it on the metal plate, and then you can put this in the oven, and it's nice and secure and you don't have to worry about it falling over. Now this rig is a fixed turntable that I glued. You can't move it, because what I like to do with this one is I like to go around the sculpture instead of me turning it. So what I did was I took the baking soda and super glue mixture and attached the flange to the metal part of the turntable. And it's pretty secure, it's not going anywhere. But this is what I want to use when I don't want the turntable to spin. Now this applies to both the spinning turntable and the fixed turntable. You can attach the flange to a piece of wood that you want to use as your base, then you screw the reducer into the flange. Then you can attach your sculpture to the piece of wood and you're good to go. Now this is a model kit vise that you use for plastic models, and you can see that it's offset here so that the top part is in the center. It's got a ball joint in the middle and it has a vise on the top. There you can open it up, and then you can put whatever you want in between here. Now you'll notice that this is offset, that it's kind of wobbles right there. That's to keep this in the center. That way when it's on camera it doesn't go back and forth and pull the focus. Let me show you what I mean here. I'll put it inside one of the slots and tighten it up. Then you spin it around, see how it kind of stays in the middle? Doesn't go back and forth. That way you won't have any trouble with the focus. Now if you wanted to do something horizontally, it's just a matter of changing the position and putting your armature inside, and you're good to go. I don't really use this one that often because it's more for lighter sculptures like wings or smaller pieces, but it does the job. Have you ever wished you had a third hand? Well, this here is my third, fourth, and fifth hand. It has adjustable arms with clips on the top. You can put them pretty much anywhere. You can put your piece in there and secure them with 2 or 3 of the arms, and it leaves both of your hands free to work on whichever part you want to work on. I mainly use this on smaller pieces like Purple Tentacle's gun. I was able to put both pieces together while my other hands were free. I also used it for Purple Tentacle's raindrops. I put the resin on the wire and let it drip, and then I cured it with the UV light, and it really came in handy. I definitely recommend getting one of these. You won't regret it. Now this is another rig that I worked up with a magic arm and a super clamp. And as you can see, all you have to do is loosen it up and you can put it in any position that you need. If you want to put it low, you can put it down here. Or if you want to put it at a different angle, sideways, you can do that. But the best part about this little rig is you can do this. This is a spider leg that's from a sculpture that will be coming out next month, and obviously this one didn't make it. But let's say you wanted to work on the knuckle here. All you have to do is take it and loosen it up, put it in the right position that you need, put it inside the super clamp, always being careful not to make it too tight because you can crush it. And also you can only do this with something that's cured. But it holds it secure to where you can work on it with both of your hands, and this clamp will hold it. And if you want to turn it around this way, you can work on it from this position, or you can work on it from this position over here. You can pretty much put it any way you want. Okay, let's take this off and let me show you how the base is. This is just a piece of wood that I attached with epoxy sculpt onto a hot shoe with an extender. All you have to do is unscrew it. There it is right there. There's the base. Screw it back on. Now I'll show you the super clamp. You can just attach that to anything you need. It's got a 1/2 inch screw and a 1/4 inch screw, and all you have to do is attach it to your magic arm and you're good to go. Now sometimes the drill chuck is a little bit too small and you need something a little bigger to hold your armature. This one here is a mini bench vise clamp, and you can also mount it to a piece of wood if you want to, but what this one's made for is for extra large pieces. Like let's say I want to glue this wire into this wooden ball. All you have to do is put the wooden ball in there like that, tighten it up, and it holds it for you. Or if you wanted to take a metal cylinder and put it inside there like that, you could do that, and it holds the metal cylinder. This one really works well when you're working with larger armatures. Now here's another turntable that I have that's really big, and I don't use it very often, but I probably should, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But basically what this is a Lazy Susan top, and I attached it to the large turntable under here, just glued it on. And it essentially works just the same as the other turntable. You can take your drill chuck and put it into the reducer there, and you tighten it up. Then you can put your armature into the chuck and you're ready to sculpt. I haven't been using this one very often, and I'm thinking that I probably should, because with all the raking that I do on sculptures, all of the shavings would fall onto this thing and they wouldn't fall on the floor. I think I'm going to start using it again. And now, last but not least, is the beast. Now this one's going to take a little bit longer to explain because there's a lot to it. First off, there is this vise right here. It's called a Yost V275 portable vise. Now I removed the top part of the vise from it so that I could do this, and I'll show you how I take it off in a minute. The first thing I did was attach the base to a piece of wood with epoxy sculpt. Then what I did was turn it over and remove these screws so that I could remove the head. Then all I would have left is the ball and socket joint that I could attach to this Lathe Chuck. It has 3 points of contact that you can put anything up to 3 inches round inside of the chuck. So you can make it smaller, or you could turn around and make it larger. Put your rig in there and tighten it up good, and it's not going anywhere. And what I did was I took this shaft right here and attached the Lathe Chuck with epoxy sculpt. Now the main reason why I did this is because I needed a way to be able to work on the sculpture from all different directions, and also have the ability to get better camera angles from maybe the top or the side or a kind of a Dutch angle. So I could do this, put the armature in, and secure it, and I can basically use both hands, get a camera angle from that direction or whatever direction I need it to be. So now let me show you how I took apart the vise. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to loosen the ball joint all the way. Then once you take that off, you can pull the ball joint out. Then we'll unscrew the back plate, which will release the top part of the vise head and leave us with just the ball joint. Then we'll take off this nut. That way we can take the plate away from the ball joint shaft. Then we'll take the bottom of the vise and we will put it all back together. Put the ball back in, and we'll make sure these two flanges are in these little two square holes. That's kind of like a fulcrum, and then we'll tighten it back down. Now we'll pull off the plate, and we're left with just the ball joint and the shaft. Now you can see all you have to do is take the bottom part, attach it to the turntable, take some epoxy sculpt and attach it to the Lathe Chuck, attach it to the 1/4-inch pipe, and to your drill chuck. And that's how I made this monstrosity beast of a rig. Well, my friends, this is the video that a lot of you have been asking for, and I really do hope that this helps and clarifies some of the rigs and jigs that I use for my sculptures. But just in case I didn't cover everything that you need, don't hesitate to ask me questions in the comment section below. I would be more than happy to help you out with it. And I've also left links to everything that I've used in the description box below. And a big thank you again to all my subscribers. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And if you've just stumbled upon this channel, I hope that you consider subscribing if you like what you saw. And with that, I will bid you all a good day, take care, and we will see you next time.